Search. Did you hear me?
Thank you. Good evening. I call the regular meeting to order at 5:31 PM. May we please have a roll call?
Yep. Board Member Aaron Pimentel.
Present.
Board Member Norma Gonzalez. Board Member Patrice Stanzioni.
You will be excused this evening.
Thank you. Board Member Dolores Rivera.
Here.
Board Member Dina Flores.
Present.
Interim Superintendent Dr. Julie Harrison.
Here.
Susan Ibarra. Here. Tomiko Lee Nolasco. Present. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The record reflects that Ms. Sanzioni has reported ill tonight, so she won't be attending. Approval of the agenda of the regular board meeting of June 23rd, 2026. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Rivera, seconded by Ms. Gonzalez. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion is carried. Preliminary matters, pledge of allegiance. At this time, I'll lead us in the pledge of allegiance. Please rise. Right hand over your heart. Ready to begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Chief Computer. Presentations recognition. Item 1 is local indicators presentation. Dr. Harrison, would you mind starting this up for us, please?
Yes, thank you, Board President Pimentel. I would like to introduce Mr. Jason Tavite, our coordinator of curriculum here at Bassett Unified, who will have a local indicators update for us.
Thank you. Good evening, Board President Pimentel, members of the school board, interim superintendent Dr. Harrison. It's a pleasure of presenting the local indicators for the 25-26 school year. See if we can get, yeah, there it goes. Okay, in this presentation, we'll cover the definition of local indicator performance standards, the differences between state and local indicators, and then Bassett Unified School District's local indicator data. So what are our local indicators? To really understand local indicators, we first need to understand the state's 8 priorities. The state of California has identified 8 priorities for school districts. 3 of them are within the area of conditions for learning, 2 are within student outcomes, and 3 deal with engagement. Much of the data that we use to make important decisions regarding conditions for learning, student outcomes, and engagement are measurable on the California Data Dashboard, but not all areas are measurable on the dashboard. Enter the local indicators. These are the indicators that LEAs are responsible for collecting data locally, and they include 5 of the 8 priorities. Here's an overview of the 8 state priorities. The first priority is basic services and conditions at schools. These are things like standards aligned materials that are available to all students and teachers, teachers placed in the right assignments based on students' needs, as well as facilities being in good working order. The second is the implementation of academic state standards. This involves adoption of materials, professional learning we provide for our teachers and principals, and standards-aligned instruction. The third area is parent and family engagement. As you can see on this slide and in the following slides, the parentheses indicate the priorities link to our LCAP goals. There is a connection to the LCAP that is really important. Area 4 is the achievement, student achievement, and measures how students are progressing towards mastery of grade level standards, and specifically calls out English learner progress and college and career indicator, which is really asking how are we preparing students for college and career. Indicator 5 is about student engagement. This is measured in 2 ways, chronic absenteeism and the graduation rate. Area 6 is school climate, and this area is unique because it is addressed with both state and local metrics. in the fact that climate is measured by the suspension rate, which is on the dashboard, and climate surveys, which are locally gathered. State priority 7 is the access to a broad course of study. This indicator looks at our course offerings, master scheduling, and is tied to LCAP goals A and C. Lastly, our other pupil outcomes are met through a breadth of adopted courses of study. So as I mentioned earlier, there is an important connection to the LCAP. The LCAP must take into consideration data from many different sources, including the dashboard, which helps LEAs identify areas of strength and areas of needs based on academic progress. But it's only part of the picture. It must also utilize data gathered locally, which provides additional information that informs decision-making and planning. The LCAP, therefore, looks at all the data from both state and local sources to construct a plan for actions and services and the allocations of funds in order to improve student outcomes for all. Over the next 5 slides, I will go through the outcomes for our local indicators for Bassett for the 25-26 school year. And these, again, are the priorities that are not measured on the California dashboard. So area 1 deals, as I said, with basic services and conditions, and we met this indicator because there were 0 instances of students being without access to standards aligned materials, and 0 instances where facilities did not meet good repair standards. We did have 3 BIS assignments, which you may recall from last year as a vast improvement over the previous school year. So we did meet this area. Area 2, the implementation of state and academic standards. Area 2 and 3 are given ratings of a 1 to a 5. So a little bit about what that is. So a 5 is full implementation and sustainability. A 4 is full implementation. A 3, initial implementation. 2, beginning development. And 1, exploration or research phase. A local analysis indicates a rating of 5 in the area of continued implementation of standards across all content areas. Additionally, our professional development and instructional support for teachers and administrators received a rating of 4.5, and monitored instructional practices and resources to support standards-based instruction received a rating of 4. We met this area and we're doing well here, but as you can see, there's a little bit of room to grow when it comes to sustainability in that criteria. Area 3 deals with parent and family engagement. Using a variety of survey instruments and analyzing feedback that we receive from parents, families, and educational partners through our surveys, meetings, committees, the data indicates a rating of 5 here. Opportunities for meaningful participation in the district and school decision-making received a rating of 4.5. Examples of these opportunities for parents include ELAC, DLAC, school site council, PTA, principal and director coffees, LCAP stakeholder meetings, and the like. 72% of parents reported that they are aware of the many different kinds of meetings and committees that they can be a part of. And our systems of communication with families regarding program services and student achievement through Parent Square, Synergy Parent Portal, Class Dojo, digital marquees, personal phone calls, conversations, and also conferences are fully implemented and well sustained. 79% of our parents report being well informed of their child's progress. 83% of parent respondents reported that the school staff responds quickly to their calls and emails. Area 6, this is that one that's both state and local. This is school climate. For the local indicators, we use the results from the California Healthy Kids Survey and staff surveys. Our analysis indicates that we met this area. Some of the highlights in this data include nearly 7 in 10 elementary students report feeling safe at school. 84% of students report high levels of positive behavior among their peers. In secondary levels, 85% of students have 2 or fewer absences per month. And 70% of students report that adults hold them to high expectations. Some areas for growth for us in Bassett in elementary, meaningful participation was at 32%. We'd like that to be higher. Harassment at school was reported at 53%. Frequent sadness is at 24%. In middle school, school connectedness was 57%, harassment, bullying 40%, and chronic sadness remains elevated among certain grade levels. These areas will continue to guide our work in MTSS, counseling services, restorative practices, PBIS, student leadership opportunities, and expanded social emotional supports. Area 7 is a broad course of study. We met this area by ensuring students have access to a comprehensive course of study aligned to state requirements, expanding opportunities for college and career and enrichment, and reviewed course offerings to support equitable access for all student groups. And I thank you for your time and attention. This concludes the presentation on local indicators. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have at this time.
Thank you very much, Ms. Gonzalez.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Who grades us, or do we grade ourselves on these, or is there an outside entity that grades us?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's an internal process. We look at our own data and there's a self-reflection that happens.
Okay, awesome. And then, are you at liberty to share with us which grade levels are the ones that are still struggling a little bit more than the rest?
Don't have that in front of
Okay.
me, but we can get that information to you.
Awesome, thank you. And that's it. Thank you.
Any further questions? Loretta?
Are we planning to do anything about the bullying or the harassment the kids are feeling? And the mental issues at a certain age, when they're going through puberty, that they feel
Right.
all these emotions, what are we doing for them, or what could we do for them?
I think I think all our schools are doing a lot in that area. And I do wonder if all those instances that students are feeling always get reported. We don't know. So we will be working with our principals this summer to look at this data very closely and they're always developing plans on how to improve that because it's really important to us that every child feels safe in school.
Thank you. It was a good report. Great report. Thank you.
Thank you for this report. With regards to my colleague's question and you're giving that, Dr. Harrison, would it be possible to get that information on the next weekly?
Sure, the Healthy Kids
Is it
Survey
acceptable?
or the plans for,
The-
yeah,
the grade
absolutely.
levels.
Sure.
Sorry.
I'm good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again.
I just started speaking, I apologize. Thank you, it is great, and this is obviously worthy, the feedback, the negative, but I don't want that to outshine the positive that sounds like for the rest of the report. 'Cause I always hate when we talk about the bad things, not the good things, so a little praise to the good, yes. But yes, this is now my 4th time getting this type of presentation. And I know it's not just Bassett, it's a cultural phenomenon, throughout everywhere. But it's nonetheless still concerning to see these numbers stay stagnant with this culture and the climate at school. This isn't any question I'm expecting an answer now, but just more an invitation to the entire team. Obviously with your team, with Ed Services, our assistant soup Ed Services, student services, our incoming soup, everyone to how do we approach this creatively? What conferences or consortiums are out there that are addressing this creatively? Because 4 years and numbers are still the same. Clearly things aren't working. And I know we have phenomenal mental health resources. Not our students are, aren't having
Without- yeah.
access, you know? So it has to be something that the system isn't doing right to, help them out. It's a loaded thing to say that I don't expect anything right now, but it's just an observation I feel compelled to say. So thank you for again preparing this, and I'm looking forward to see what we do next year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
On to item 2, presentation, sports field construction project, Don Julian Elementary and Edgewood Academy. Dr. Harrison, would you mind introducing our guests?
Thank you. We have some special guests with us tonight from the Cummings Group that are going to be doing a presentation for us on our track and field improvements. So if you guys wouldn't mind coming forward.
Sure, absolutely. So I'm the lucky presenter.
Hey, we're glad you're here.
And then just hitting the arrow moves the slide forward in the middle?
Yeah.
Correct. Well, good evening. Thank you for having us. My name is Anthony Sanchez. I'm an executive vice president with Cumming Group. With me, I have your senior project manager, Tom Hughes. And also our senior vice president of operations, Eileen Ta, who our accounting and contracts team knows very well here. And the significance of this is Tom just finished workman over at Hacienda La Puente Stadium over there. And a lot of the components that are on this field are the same. So we're bringing you an experienced individual. Robert Segura, who is our lead, sends his heartfelt messages. He's actually on vacation. We let him get away for a little bit. But, all the credit really goes to Robert for putting all of this together, getting both the projects together, bringing the bids in, and all of that. And he's done an amazing job. With that said, I will get started. So we're going to run through a quick overview of the two projects. We're going to talk about the two campuses and have some comparisons for you to take a look at and answer any questions you have. We'll start with Don Julian Elementary School, and then we'll go to Edgewood Academy Elementary School. We'll talk a lot about the synthetic turf system. It's state of the art. We'll also go into the construction schedule for the two projects. These two projects will be done simultaneously, and that'll be in the presentation. And then we've got the project team here to answer any questions in regard to some of the construction items. And then any Q&A beyond that at the end of the presentation as well. So these are two campuses that are approved under a single contract. What we call in the industry bundling. This is a very effective bid method. What it does, it is increases the project total construction amount. It draws in a better talent pool of contractors. We had 3 good contractors bidding these projects. We've worked with all of them, and all of them were equally capable, but you got the lowest price and you still got a great contractor to do the job, which is amazing. The general contractor that was successful as in public contract code as what we call the responsible lowest bidder, all done properly through the public contract code process and your procurement and contracts department. The construction value, as you can see, is $16,888,123. That also includes a contingency and allowance in case we run into anything once we get underground or as we're commencing through the project. We've got some cushion in there. As a whole, this project did come in under budget expectations, and I think it was a lot of due diligence efforts with our team, with the design team, and especially under Susan's guidance and the in-house team here on procurement. This is a very successful outcome for you all. The duration of the project is 275 calendar days. That's 7 days a week. And basically, we're going to be NTPing the project, which is notice to proceed, once the board blesses that or approves it. Excuse me, getting a little religious there. Both projects are DSA approved. As you can see, Don Julian has its approved DSA number there. And I can tell you, having a little bit of knowledge of these projects, we faced some structural challenges due to sloping and siting of some of this in the beginning. We got all that worked out. Everybody came together and it got solved. and we ended up with an amazing product for these projects. Edgewood has its own DSA number. They will be inspected simultaneously, but the DSA certifications will be associated with each DSA number. But it's also under one contract. So they both have shared premium scopes. And what that means is neither one of these projects is getting anything less than state-of-the-art, high strength and industry standard materials. So they're both getting the same quality, the same strength, durability, warranties are exactly the same in terms of what the makeup is of the construction materials. We've got synthetic turf field, all-weather running track, the Musco lighting, and Musco lighting is a standard preferred in the industry for sports lighting. It's LED, which is energy efficient. Maybe a little bright for some of the neighbors, but you know, they're going to get some good games going on over there to watch, right? And then of course, we're going to have the aluminum grandstands and then the next mod concession restroom buildings associated with both of the projects. Each campus is tailored to its students. So in the development of these projects, we went through with your predecessor, Dr. Harrison, on the project development,
Right.
the stakeholder reviews and everything else, and with Susan Ibarra, your Chief Business Officer. And it's all going to complement the activities that are going on with each campus, especially with the track and field components. So here's a quick matrix of comparing the two and what the components are going to be. We're going to get into some detail of this, so I'll breeze through this. We've got the Go Lions, blue and gold, and then we've got the Knights in cardinal. As you can see, for the running track at Don Julian, we've got a 6-lane oval, 8-lane straightaway, and we'll show you the layouts of what that entails and means. And then over at Edgewood, we've got an 8-lane oval, 9-lane straightaway, so slightly different lanes going on there. And then we've got the synthetic turf fields, which is very common for athletics today, for soccer and football and things of that nature. And it'll be youth football and soccer over at Don Julian and high school football, of course, exciting stuff. Over at Edgewood, along with soccer, which is about 140 feet by 360 feet to accommodate that. All competition ready and qualified. The track and field events for Don Julian, you're going to have shot put. And over at Edgewood, because of the siding, we're able to put shot put, long jump, triple jump, and pole vault over at Edgewood. On the basketball courts at Don Julian, we're able to put in 3 new courts and then 6 existing as an upgrade and improving those. And over at Edgewood, we're not going to be doing the basketball courts. The sports lighting, as I mentioned, is Musco. And also the concession and restroom is a next gen mod. And the turf systems are AstroTurf, Root Zone, 3DM, 5.2. It's a very scientific explanation for top of the line, best in the business. And the company who's actually doing the turf work, we do a lot of projects with them throughout Southern California in many districts. And they're absolutely experts at the field parts of this. So we're going to talk about Don Julian first. Here are the amazing colors for Don Julian. As you can see, we've got the blue and gold layout there. I love this layout, love the colors. The youth football will go on here with the soccer, as well as the school colors being the blue and gold. We've got the big DJ color insignia for the school itself, representing Don Julian at midfield. And then we can, as you can see, you've got the 6-lane running track that encircles the field around this. And then here's what it's going to look like when it's all done. So can't wait for that ribbon cutting, right? So the scope, just to break it down in a little more detail, as a 6-lane oval with 8-lane straightaway, it's the all-weather Rocaton surface. And then the synthetic turf is the Root Zone 3DM 52. That's for the dual youth and soccer that'll be being played on these fields. It's got the 6 basketball courts. They're new asphalt over base for the new basketball courts with new posts and new backboards. And then the existing courts are going to be resurfaced with new slurry seal, and they're going to be restriped so that they all look the same as the new courts that are installed. Of course, the shot put area, the grandstand is going to be a continuous 10-row aluminum grandstand with 828 seats. That'll accommodate ADA as well as companion seating for that. So everybody's going to be included to be able to watch the events. And then the lighting is going to have a 25-year warranty, which is standard in the industry. We've got the restrooms that are 12 by 40 feet. And they've got a separate PC number, that's a pre-check number that helps us get these things through DSA a little bit more expeditiously. And then the site it's a new 100% head-to-head irrigation planting and hydro seed. And then we've got new fencing at the ADA paths. This is the layout for the basketball courts. And the verbiage to the right kind of reiterates some of the components that we've already discussed. But I will say that even these have the ADA paths for the court areas as well. So all accessible. So this gives you a depiction of the field and where it sits and how it is sited in the overall campus layout. So as you can see, it complements the site very well. We've got the running tracks, synthetic turf, 6 basketball courts, the grandstand seating, the concession restroom, and the Musco lighting is all in that component shown up at the top of the plan sheet there. So now we're going to talk about Edgewood Academy Elementary School. Again, amazing colors, beautiful layout. The same AstroTurf that was discussed for the first campus. Here we've got the high school football field and the soccer going on, Go FIFA, if anybody's watching right now. We won't discuss favorite teams because we don't want to have that breakout here. And I think these colors are also amazing. And as you can see, you've got the EA for Edgewood Academy in the middle, representing a lot of pride for this campus. And then the 8-lane running track encircles the field as well. And this is what Edgewood is going to look like for Bassett Unified and for the community. Amazingly beautiful. So slight differences for this one. It's an 8-lane oval running track with 9-lane straightaway. It's got the same material for the turf. It's got full track and field events with the shot put, the long jump, and the triple jump and pole vault. So a few more amenities there. But we've got 5-row aluminum section seating here at 462 seats, all accessible for ADA wheelchair and companion seating. In addition to that, we've got the same industry standard high-end Musco, top of the line, LED as well for energy efficiency. The same restroom that Don Julian is getting. And then we've got the landscape, which is about 44,000 square feet of hybrid Bermuda. It's sod and 12,000 square feet of stabilized decomposed granite. And then we've also got no basketball courts occurring on this site. And this is an amazing view of what this thing's going to look like on a cloudy day. So this is the proposed site plan for where the field's going to be sited in comparison to the rest of the campus. And just some more details to the right of what we talked about and what it's going to look like and be laid out in proximity to the rest of the buildings. So on this campus, in both of the campuses, we're going to have the monofilament synthetic turf. It's 10,800 denier stabilized polyurethane and nylon fibers with the factory extruded nylon root zone. That means it's the best of the best of the best. And it's got a 2-inch pile height, 52-ounce square yard face weight, which is the durability for football, soccer, and industry standard for those sports in competitive practice. It's got two layers of infill, silica sand, ballast top with organic rock fill, engineered US pine, no irrigation required, which is great and cuts down on the maintenance and water costs. And then, of course, nor is a pesticide or heavy metal-free part of that as well for schools. The Brock Power YSR shock pad is for player safety and helps with, things like concussions and injuries when people get tackled out there and taken down. And having played sports during my time and played some football, I would have loved to have played on this. My hip would probably feel a lot better today. And then we've got the Safety Surface G-Max, the 125 for 165 over the warranty life, and lower is safer. And then we've got an 8-year manufacturer warranty covering the materials, workmanship, and UV. That's in case the field has any shading issues due to the UV or sun. And that's what the components for both of these are going to look like. Our construction schedule is basically showing an NTP as soon as this board meeting is done and we get your approval. We'll get the contractor mobilized very quickly. They're excited. They're ready to go. They have not been given official notice because we do not have board approval from you all. It's showing the start of this happening now and really going into effect beginning of July with mobilization. And we're looking to finish the actual construction by the end of March and closing the project out by the end of April. This puts it to you in a basic Excel spreadsheet of when we are going to achieve substantial completion and all the dates of the components that are going to lead up to that, with mobilization June 23rd to July 21st, grading and earthwork or demolition July 7th to August 4th, the grading and earthwork July 21st to September of this year. And we've got utilities going on from August 4th to the 15th of September of this year. Concrete and hardscape, which are components around this, are going to go on between September 1st and October 27th. Track installation is slated for October 13th to November 24th. There's a lot of components. The track is going to be the biggest portion of this work, and there's a lot of components that go into that. And they have to be done right for the field to perform the way it's supposed to. And we've done many fields. The synthetic turf is October 27th to December 8th. Grandstands and must-go lighting are between November and January 19th of 2027. And then the fencing and irrigation is kind of the last components that will go in between the beginning of December to February 16th. And then we're going to go through punch list and closing out the project between February and the end of March, and closing everything out, turning everything over to the district in April. So the architect on this team is Villarreal Architects. The general contractor will be Nazarian Group. Humming Group is us, your construction management team. We also did your pool, by the way, if you remember that. Mm-hmm. And then the inspector of record is TYR. And we've done work in many places with TYR. Biggest project was Compton High School, New Compton High School, Dr. Dre's signature project for $200 million. And they're a good firm. We've got Smith Emery as a lab of record, another quality firm. And then, of course, we'll be having full SWIP, USD, and DD adherence to all the local agency stormwater requirements. And now we're ready for Q&A.
Thank you very much. I'd like to start us. Thank you very much for a very thorough presentation.
Yes, and may I acknowledge the board and you, Mr. President. Thank you for having us here tonight.
Absolutely. It's great to see Aline, especially because I know she's been with us for many years now. It's nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us. And thank you. It was Workman High School or which? Yes. Workman? Okay, so now we know we got to
You can swing by there
Jump the
tonight.
fence.
If I say so myself.
We can get you in.
Good job.
It's not a problem.
Um,
We're still there doing their bond work.
got it. Well, thank you for being with us tonight. A really good presentation on, I don't know if 2 weeks is short notice or not, but I appreciate you still being here, a team of you being here. A good presentation with schematics, with page numbers. I often really appreciate that. So thank you. For my questions, again, it's just to understand the scope of the project for clarity. So I apologize if they're a bit mundane and really technical, just so I could fully appreciate everything. So
Sure.
on page 3,
Let me grab the power.
sorry, thank you. I say page 3 just so we could follow along where we're going.
Yeah, and I can
but,
flip through it.
specifically with the Musco lightings, I appreciate you acknowledging that they can get bright. I haven't heard too many complaints, but I hear I get joked on them on a separate project with our marquees, because you'll be driving down Van Wyck Avenue or on Willow and we have our super bright marquees. I'm curious with the lighting, I don't expect them to have dimmer, but what's the control setting on how easy they are to, I guess, be adjusted if needed? As we figure out the lighting situation, how often they're used, if we get feedback from neighbors, what does the adjustment for the lighting piece look like?
So the lightings will be controlled
Okay.
and timed. I don't know that there's a dimming feature because once the lights go on,
Yeah,
their function is for safety, obviously, not just for the people on the field, but of people around the field, kids and parents. You know, that everything is lit and everybody can see everybody. But they will be controlled on from a timing standpoint. And probably, Tom, I would say there's a Wi-Fi component that they can be controlled
Absolutely.
remotely.
It's
Yeah.
it's 100% controllable. You can have music to it. It's a designer feature on it. You can spotlight different end zones or where your players are coming from. It's really user friendly. And as far as the neighbors are concerned, the lighting is designed to focus away from the outside and focus primarily directly in the center of the field or around the stadium. Like I said, if you ever go over to Workman at night, they usually keep it lit pretty much until like 11.
Mhm.
And then it automatically times out. You can see that the neighbors have no complaints.
lovely, thank you.
Yep.
With the concession and restroom rooms, remind me how many restrooms we have built in the project? I believe it was obviously 2 gendered and non-gendered. What I'm getting at specifically, if we are anticipating opening up to our communities, is there any components for like a baby changing station or
Family
something? Yeah, like
restroom.
what does that gender neutral bathroom look like? If there's anything specific for.
You know, they
station.
for sure they have the ADA stalls,
Oh.
these being sports. Not sure that they have a mother's changing area. You know, we can check the drawings to see if there is in each bathroom where you have the flip down where you can actually change an infant in the woman's bathroom
Or
or
in
something like
men's.
that.
I see a lot of men.
Yeah,
With the babies and all that,
yes,
and they go into
yeah,
the restroom to change them and all that, so.
yeah. We can check that,
Thank you for that.
yes.
So just notes for me to look in that. Beautiful illustrations with the 2 campuses. On slide 8, I circled the site, new 100% head-to-head irrigation, planting and hydro seed, new fencing and ADA paths. So is this limited to just, I guess, the area surrounding the project, or would this be?
It is the areas.
Okay, perfect,
It is the area surrounding the project.
beautiful.
Yes. At this school, you have an additional landscaping for your quad area.
Yeah.
So that's that portion of it right there.
Okay,
The field itself will not have any type of natural sod, only the artificial turf.
perfect.
There's no irrigation system for the artificial turf, but there is a watering system for cleaning.
I follow.
Yeah, so we have what they call booster cannons, which you can spray and cool down the field during the day. But it also allows for, you have to do an annual or I think it's semi-annual cleaning to keep your GMAX certification. And it allows you to do that.
Thanks.
On page 10, if you actually, if you don't mind me getting up,
Yeah,
because I want
you're okay.
to show the illustration here. I think it's page 9, and I'll hop on. So here is where we're gonna have the basketball courts on page 9, correct? If we could, I guess, change it to page 9. Thank you. So is it all the basketball courts or just these top 3?
So there's 3 new
Three new.
that will be completely redone with new asphalt, the poles, backboards and everything else. And then adjacent to that, the existing will be re-slurry sealed to make the asphalt look and match like the new ones. And it'll also be restriped.
Thank you for that. And then if we could go, so I apologize, to page 10 again. With the
Sure.
concession building, where on the campus would it be? I'm struggling to find it.
For the basketball courts?
No, excuse
The
me, for
concession.
the concession stand for the track and field. I'm presuming this would be, of course, the bleachers here. So with the concession stand, that's, I guess, the part where
You have to show them their top.
I'm imagining. I could go to you. I don't.
That's good.
Oh, Julian.
This is still Don Julian, yes.
So it would be right in this location.
That's what that is, okay. And then just so you all.
You can
see
go
where
to the
you-
monitor and point it out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Right.
right.
We're good for now.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, nice. Thank you for that.
And that's a male, female, and I think it's a unisex or a non-gender
Thank you.
and concession.
I think that was mostly it. I think I just had one clarifying one on the Edgewood. Yes, it was the Edgewood. We go to slide 16. And it was similar question as to the location of the concession stand there.
Mhm. You want to show them up on
When
the
it-
board? Tom?
Edgewood,
Yes.
the one at Edgewood is here, is actually stationed here already.
Oh.
We brought that in and it's sitting on the existing basketball courts,
This is basketball.
right? there.
Perfect. Thank you.
So in the existing basketball court that you have right now, it'll be permanently set right there on its own foundation.
Oh,
And then on page 18, there's a graph. But my question here was, with the timeline, it's exciting to see that this could be done next school year, that our students it looks like they'll come to campus with construction already started, but they'll end this school year with a new facility, which I think is beautiful. Are both projects going to a concurrent timeline, that like this will be the same for both of them?
They are.
Nice, okay. Nice, okay. I think that's it for me, for you all. I did have 1/2 questions for our staff. Page 17 references the 8-year manufacturer warranty. So I'd like to see if maybe by the time the project's done, we could come up with a game plan of what happens on the 9th year. Once that warranty is over, at least so we could be proactive about it, is one thing. And then, at least with Don Julian's campus, we are doing a project as well with a new 2-story modular building. I was wondering if that would pose any complications to this project, if that's happening in closer proximity.
No.
No?
No,
Okay.
we're good there. We're coordinated.
Lovely. Okay. Just write that note somewhere, but that's it with me. Ms.
Okay.
Flores?
Thank you. To answer your question, for regards to the lighting
Mhm.
at Edgewood, I would say, I think the community is already used to the Bishop Vermont lighting there.
Mhm.
I would would be curious to see how Don Julian would react with it if there is no lighting at that campus. So that's gonna be totally
Mhm.
to the families there, but Edgewood,
Yeah, the
they're
parks.
already used to the high school lighting. But I see the lighting as, as far as in lighting, because of the way you structure it,
Mhm.
I know it's not really that much of an inconvenience to people. And actually, it's more of a security,
Yes,
because, you can kind of see what's going on.
yeah,
So, I'm gonna say that, and thank you for this presentation.
thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Susan, for coordinating it. Because my concern was with Don Julian and the basketball courts, but because this was one of the projects after my high school HVAC. that I was really following because I'm a very big advocate for, I don't want our students looking over the fence. Why can't we have what they have? So
Yeah.
they do deserve this, and so much more.
Yeah.
But I knew that the basketball courts were gonna be a part of it. So when I was hearing, no, they're not, I'm like, oh, no, they are. And I spent quite a bit of time. So, but I'm glad to see that the basketball courts are covered at Don Julian. I knew that they weren't over at Edgewood.
Mhm.
So my thing is, this project was initially gonna only run about 12 million and change.
Mhm.
And I know that there was a delay due to the DSAs, but the DSAs were only for Don Julian. So, I mean, enlighten me kind of, why couldn't Edgewood have gotten started? Because the initial project was supposed to be completed last December.
Mhm.
So the kids would have come this year to a new fields and everything. So, and we signed the agreement December, well, we went into the agreement June of 2024.
Mhm.
So completion was supposed to have happened by December 25. This seems like it's going to take longer. Is this because you're going to be doing them concurrently together, both deals?
Yes.
And the project has jumped up about $2 million, and you give yourself another 2 million for concessions just in case.
Mhm.
So a project that really would have cost us only 12 million, maybe 14 million, is now costing us 16 million. I follow the bond.
Yep.
Because I'm very, very much on top of the bond money and how it's being spent, because I want, of course, it will always will, but I'm very confident in this team that we are not going through misuse of bond funds here. I know that for a fact.
Mhm.
But I just feel $2 million. Wow, the increase in price, in the increase to $2 million over something that was supposed to have been done last December.
Mhm.
Where is that coming from? Because that's money that we really could have used elsewhere.
Right. So I will tell you this, there was strategy here in combining these two projects. We call it bundling. And that actually brings you a lesser cost by putting these two projects together. This bid for both of these projects actually came in under budget pretty significantly. And we can share that with you. Some of the delays that we experienced from a design standpoint at DSA with both projects, we had a few things going on with both. But as we got the approval for one and the other one was pending, when the first project came in, it came in over budget. And as we put these two together, now it's come in at the right budget because we got a better contractor, a more complete scope and a more appealing scope for the contractors in the industry. And actually, these projects came in under budget versus if they were on their own, it would have been a smaller scope and they probably would have bid more, a higher price for the smaller scope. With a bigger dollar amount, it's more appealing to the contracting community. And so they gave us a better price.
Okay, that's great, and I love it. Thank you so much. But yeah, you keep saying it came in under budget. Budget, I knew the fee that I received originally
Mhm.
was a 12 million and change budget.
Mhm.
This project is now, with incidentals, is gonna run 16 million. Please help me understand, how is 14 million under budget when the project was gonna be 12 million?
Ms. Flores, if
Sure,
I might
please.
add,
Yes.
yes.
Go ahead.
So when I came on board, one of the first things that I have to get myself educated about what we were doing in facilities, I learned, that was one of my questions. Because as I have to develop and report out to our CBAC, our oversight committee, about what we're doing with the bond, with Measure V and Measure BB. What I learned is that when Ms. Barba had presented this project to the committee, we do have an estimated budget of $12 million for both projects. And then as we continue moving with the DSA approval, and then I knew when the first project came along and it came at $10 million, that was my first question. I paused for a minute and I said, how is it that one project is $10 million? But back in, if I'm not mistaken, we started looking into this project early 2024.
Yes.
Something like that. And then at that time, Robert and I, we did have a conversation. I said, Robert, help me understand this. This is not making sense to me. And then what I learned from Robert, he and I, we did a little bit of digging and homework. When we started working in this project, there were some items that were not part of the scope
Okay,
with the $12 million.
That's correct.
okay, and that's, thank you for sharing that, and that's exactly where it is. If the board is not made aware of these things, and then boom, all of a sudden you put a contract before us that's like
Yes.
14 million with a 2 million contingency, I'm like, whoa, back it up. This district has been through too much to not, make sure all the i's are dotted and t's are crossed. But I think this is a fabulous project. I love the presentation. I'm excited for the students that they're gonna have this and community, because my understanding is community will be able to walk.
Oh, yes.
I don't have to go to the other campus.
Yeah.
So thank you for that explanation. I'm going to see that Don Julian's gonna get the basketball.
Go Don Julian.
Yeah, Edgewood, are you putting the concession stand on the basketball courts already? Is that where it's gonna stay?
Tom, can you point out where the concession's gonna be over at Edgewood?
That's the,
Here we go.
Right here.
Is that on the basketball courts?
No, I think what you were,
that's,
they're being housed there temporarily,
Okay.
and then they're gonna be moved to the location.
This is the kinder section
Yeah.
over
Oh,
here.
okay.
So to save some costs, we acquired that early.
I was gonna say, wait.
Yeah, no,
Let's get it.
no, they're not gonna be on the
You're thinking
basketball
that's
court.
what's
No,
away.
Not doing that.
Okay.
Sorry about
Any, they asked the other questions I had already, so I got the answer. Thank you so much for the report.
Thank you so much. The same, a lot of my questions were already answered. And then I also concur with Board Member Flores that especially at Edgewood, that area is so dark at night. There's hardly any lighting, and I have seen families walking around, and I think it would be a welcomed experience to have a little bit more lighting in that corner, just because it's so dark there.
Yes.
I never understood why it's so dark down the whole stretch of street. And then just thank you for your presentation. Like also Board Member Flores mentioned, we've been through a lot of unfortunate projects,
Yes.
to put it mildly. And so, yeah, so it's not personal. It's just, we really do need to verify
Oh.
everything, especially because some of us were not, myself included, were not here when this
Yes.
project got started. And, like she said, we're just, making sure, double checking that,
Oh, we're with you.
everything
We
was
appreciate the
was the
questions.
way. Yeah, was the way it was initially
Yeah.
structured. So thank you.
Of course.
Thank you very much. Appreciate everyone coming out today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Informational items, public comments related to closed session. Are there any items? Any part? No? Any public comments related to open session or non-agenda matters as well? No? All right, communications, educational partner comments. Have we received any communications from either BTA or CSEA? No? Perfect, sounds good. All right, item 2, superintendent comments, Dr. Harrison.
Yes, thank you. Good evening, board president, board members, cabinet staff. It's my final board meeting serving as interim. I just wanted to thank the board and express my gratitude for the opportunity to entrusting me with that leadership over the past 7 months. And I'm especially grateful for Dr. Alvarez for his confidence in me, just kind of putting me forward to give me that opportunity and experience. And serving in the role that I've been has really been one of the most influential experiences of my professional career. In the 7 months, it's a short period of time, but I'm proud of what we've accomplished and just being able to continue moving forward and bringing good things for Bassett Unified. And I do believe this journey really exemplifies how important it is to work in an interim or like an internship type of opportunity, not just for me, but for anybody, especially our students. I'm thinking about our high school kids that have an opportunity to kind of get in the job and see like, is this something that I can do and I want to do? And I'm really thankful for that opportunity over these past few months because I've learned a lot about myself, and I know that now I can successfully lead a district, and I'm hoping that, in the future, someday when I'm ready, I'll be able to make that next step. I'm proud of what we've accomplished. I'm so thankful for our staff, our teachers, our students, the board's direction in this district. And I'm really looking forward to supporting Dr. Ortiz as he takes over. It's been wonderful working with him these past few days, and we've already made a lot of inroads. So we're really excited to be able to partner with him and continue moving Bassett forward. So just again, thank you for your trust and partnership and the opportunity to serve in this capacity. I really appreciate you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Board member comment, Board member Dina Flores.
Well, it's been busy. We had a lot of promotions and graduations, and I thoroughly enjoyed them all, even though we were racing around trying to get from, one day I'm gonna be able to make the kinder one, so. Sunkist, I apologize. Van Wig, I apologize. I did not get to go to the kinder, but I did go to the 8th grade promotions at, I'm sorry, the 5th grade promotion at Van Wig, Sunkist. I made the 8th grade at Don Julian, and a lot of pop the balloons there. And then Edgewood. Yes, I did. And of course, we did make, we went to Torch. That was huge. Oh my God. They filled the Watanabe Center. It was just amazing how it was just so filled. But nice and beautiful and emotional. I think I got emotional at the Don Julian because they're 8th grade. They're going into high school. Do they know? It's like, oh my God, I got a little emotional at that one. But the other one, let me see, what else? Torch. And we went to the Nueva Vista, which is very near and dear to my heart because these students persevere through so much. All our students do. I don't want to take away anything from anybody, but these students have a lot of there's challenges, but they persevere through. And then of course there was the high school one. It was just absolutely beautiful. It was a great ceremony. I loved it. And then we closed off with the adult school last week. Last week we closed off with the adult school. So that was really good. It's my favorite time of the year as students just accomplish and they move forward and things like that. I do want to say that at the last board meeting, if I may share, the Personnel Commission put forward to the board their budget. And their budget requested an increase, significant increase to their budget of for funding for the 26-27 year. I went to the hearing because the board rejected it. There was a hearing with LACO, and I had the opportunity to attend the public hearing. It was held here at the I was gonna say disco office, district office. So now we're just awaiting the response from LACO. So before I continue on this one, I want to first acknowledge the importance of the important statutory role that the Personnel Commission plays in supporting our classified personnel processes and ensuring that the merit system integrity is within our district. That is very important. And as a board, I want to make it very clear that we as a board do support all our staff. So this was just a question. Basically, it was more fiduciary. For me, it was more fiduciary based. I did speak at the hearing to share my reasons why I was not in favor of the increase to their budget. And one of the main thoughts I shared was that our district has the lowest enrollment in all the neighboring districts. And yet our personnel budget is still the highest. Well, it remains significantly high than other districts that serve a significantly larger student population. Okay. During that hearing, though, there was opposition to the boards rejecting the budget, and they spoke, and there was discussion during the hearing that enrollment decline does not impact funding, but it does. So I came home and I was like, no, it does. It does. So we all know that district funding it's made up of it comes from ADA. So as enrollment is declining, so does the funding. Okay, and while it is true that core staffing responsibilities must be maintained regardless of the size of the campus, it still remains the funding is largely driven by ADA. So what we're looking at with enrollment declining, the overall revenue correspondingly decreases, which means we are operating with fewer resources even as essential obligations remain. So in that context, as a board member, I also did speak that in the past, it has been known that the PC does give back money to the district. Sometimes it's been 30,000. I've seen it as high as 60,000. So, but to me, you're holding on to this money, and 30,000, even 60,000, that is the staff's annual salary. There's no staff member that's going to work for a year and wait to get paid at the end of the year. And since we don't know, that's just a large portion of money that's being held. The last budget that we went with, I think we approved 411,000, and they all went over by about 20,000. So that was the first time I've ever seen the PC go over. And I get it. I totally get it. They're staffing, salaries go up. We do this in negotiations and things like that. But as a board member, I hope it's for myself, it's my responsibility to ensure that expenditures are evaluated through a lens of proportionality and fiscal sustainability. So the intent is not to diminish the work of any department, but to align ongoing costs with the realities of our funding structure and district size. So once again, please know that as a board member, we as a board, I know, support all our staff. I, as a board member, definitely support our staff, and we thank them profusely for everything that they do, but we also have to look sustainability. We are committed to maintaining essential services, but at the same time ensuring that spending reflects both our enrollment trends and our fiduciary responsibility to the district as a whole. So on that note, I also want to say, yeah, the last 7 months have been, we've been in the superintendent search. We finally finalized it. It's gone. And I want to send out a thank you to everyone who made that possible. Tamika, Miss Susan, Miss Vicky, Miss Lillian, Alexandra, our board president, and Dr. Harrison, above all, you who have carried this district through these last 7 months. And we just kept moving forward. We kept moving forward. So I really think this is definitely example of how, as a team, what was the expression I made last time? By myself, I will go faster, but as a team, we will go farther. And that definitely showed here because everyone pulled together to try to get through this. And I am very, very happy and I love this. I love this team. I love this team. That's all I can say. So, and I'm looking forward to working with our new superintendent. So on that note, I'm happy. I don't think I have anything else to say, so I'll just stop there. So thank you, Bassett, and good night.
Board Member Dolores Rivera.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I could have said it better than my colleague said about the personnel budget. I feel the same way. She has the words to say, and I concur with her. I agree that, yes, they keep on giving us back. They were giving us back money that we couldn't put in the budget for anything. But they kept it, so I agree with her on that. And then I also attended some of the graduations. Some I couldn't because I had an 8th grader getting promoted. And then my 2 grandkids from kindergarten getting promoted. So you have to go to those. You can't miss those. But yes, but I congratulate all the children that promoted, the students that are going to the high school. And the ones that are going up to 1st grade, the big school now, they get to play at the big playground. They're not in the little one anymore, so that's exciting for them. That's the first thing I hear when the kindergarten graduates. Hey, we're going to the big playground now. Yeah, a lot of it's better. It's the same thing. It's a bigger playground. So congratulations to all of them and to the parents. Thank you for entrusting your children to us. Our teachers and the staff, classified, district, everybody is grateful that your children are here. And they're working as hard as they can because they care as much as you for your kids. So thank you for that. And then the Nueva Vista graduation continuation was great. It's good to see these kids that are struggling with different problems or different things, and yet they're still fighting to get their high school diploma. So that was great. Now, the one that I was really impressed with was the adult school graduation. They had a 91-year-old student graduating from getting his high school diploma, and he walked up the stairs. I get more assistance going up the stairs than he did. He climbed like nothing, I mean. Did he? He just, but, and that was exciting. And then they also had 4 siblings that got their high school diploma at the same time, that went to school and on. So that's very exciting that here they are going through other issues as adults and with families or whatever they're going through. And yet they still took the time to make sure that they got their high school diploma. And if they have kids, it's a great example that they could give their kids. And no matter what age, you continue your education. And nobody could take that away from you. So that was exciting, very exciting to see that. And what else? I think that's about it that I wanted to say. Thank you to Ms. Harrison for all the work you've done. You did take us farther than we would have. So thank you so much for all the hard work you did. And then thank you to Susan for setting up this presentation so we could get things clear and get moving on these projects, because the more we take, the longer we take, the longer these projects are going to be done. And I would like to have them ready by April so we could start using them. And I think the families will like them, even with the lighting, because especially behind Don Julian, there's a lot of little cul-de-sacs that don't have a lot of lighting, so this would be perfect for them. So I'm happy for that. And thank you to Cummings. You did a great job with the pool, and I expect this stadiums to be grade A like you did with our pool. And it's good that we're there trusting you. And we've been burned once, so but you brought that trust back with
Thank
the
you.
pool and doing everything that you did. So thank you to you guys for the pool, and we hope these projects come out even better. You have great men and women working for you, on us, working for us and doing the great job. So thank you guys. Thank you all. And good night. But good night.
Board Vice President Norma Gonzalez.
Thank you. The graduations were amazing. It just always is a reminder of how amazing our community is, how amazing our students are, the parents that support our students. It's just, it's a cycle that I love to see. And this is my first full school year. So closing it up. And so I feel like I'm ready to hit the ground running with, whatever we need. And I've consumed as much knowledge as I possibly can. But yeah, and then just watching the elementary and the middle school principals pull off these amazing promotions and graduations. Just so hats off to them for doing it. I mean, it was like no nonsense. It was like, let's go. It was rehearsed. It was very well executed. It was such a joy to watch. So thank you, and apologies once again to the adult school. I was not able to make that one. But overall, I would say, and I did email her this, so I'm going to say it out loud. MVP goes to Dr. Harrison for doing her commencement speech in Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. That was like the highlight for me. I was just so amazed. Not surprised, because you are an amazing person. And so I'll just segue into thanking you for all of the hard work that you put in these few last months, and just your love of our community, our students. our parents is just, you know, it's very easily seen. And so thank you for everything that you have done. And you have moved us, you know, into just the next part of everything, you know, just the next part of Bassett Unified. So thank you for that. It wasn't unseen. It was very much appreciated. So I could say more, but I'll tell you in person, personally. So yeah, I would love to also attend the kindergarten ones. You know, this year it actually worked out that my district finished before Bassett, so I was able to attend way more than the previous graduation. So hopefully I can one day make the kinder ones too, because I know those are lovely. And I think that's it for me for today. That's short.
Mr. President, could I say one thing?
Yes.
Since our meeting's not till July 21st, I'd like to wish everybody a happy 4th of July and to thank all our military men and women that have served and to keep our country safe for us. So especially a big thanks to them. At the adult school, they also had a graduate that had just finished her boot camp. Her sergeant went to pick up her diploma. So thank you to all our men and women in the service that were there and are there now, and their families for allowing them to keep our country safe. So thank you and happy 4th of July, and don't drink and drive, please. Uber it.
Thank you very much. Yes, happy summer. Solstice, Father's Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, big on freedom and clinging on to that, you know, whether if it is, you know, our service members, whether if it's activists in the streets, everyone who fights for freedom, if it's as simple as us at a boardroom, our educators in the classroom, everyone who contributes to freedom in any which way is something we have to celebrate, especially with the rise of fascism in this country, is something we can't take for granted. But love the summer heat, love that it's summertime, so it's always, you know, something nice. And hoping again for, as Mr. Rivera said, safe travels if you're driving, safe on the road, don't drink and drive. Thank you for having that inclusion because we take that for granted. Before I get into all of my thingy things, I do want to make a request of our CBO if possible, and getting a report to us, not necessarily by the next board meeting, but sooner rather than later, on our HVAC's capabilities in filtering smoke, especially lately with the fire in Boyle Heights. I think we're seeing how prevalent environmental racism is on this side of town that the San Gabriel Valley still has to face for days now of this smoke. And I just like to curious, we paid so much money at Miss Flores' great expense, her personal expense, to get this HVAC system. I would very much like to know its full capabilities, to know that, you know, we're staying safe. Obviously, we can't minimize certain things. There's certain things that an HVAC can't catch, odors. You know, if people want to wear masks as an extra precaution, sure. But at the very least, I want to know what it's capable of, making sure that there is good. Thank you. And I do want to touch base on PC because it's, again, rhetoric that I get. I was a former commissioner. I understand that you gotta work it sometimes, but we do not reject. The board does not reject. The board can concur or not concur with a budget. And that's not even by law, that's just helping LACO figure out what the board's thoughts on the PC budget. But the Board of Education, the district does not reject the PC budget. The person who can reject the budget is the county superintendent of schools. And if that's the line they want to walk, then of course they have a hearing that we had and we had that exercise. But our role in concurrence is whether or not we are okay with the money that eventually becomes our line item or not. It's not us approving or disproving anything, because that bothers me. Semantics bother me as a former commissioner, 6 years on the commission, 5 as chair. No, the board does not reject. Obviously, we do not concur. And we concur for a variety of reasons, but to hear that, you know, student revenue isn't impact, I will admit that's a new approach that I think we took this year, but it does make sense because yes, even if we had 100 students or 50 students, I think is the thing that I kind of talked about earlier as I was venting. that does impact revenue. If we have 100 students or 50 students, but we still have maybe the same amount of classified employees, same school sites open, operating, et cetera, sure. But depending on student enrollment and attendance, that is our revenue. If we're having full enrollment, we're gonna have a lot of revenue in order to spend for our, including the budget spend on our, on everything we have to. So it absolutely is critical. I don't buy it as a former commissioner. No, student enrollment, that revenue that we get from our students absolutely does apply in the budget sense. And I know the PC has returned, I almost said we. The PC does return money. Usually that was because, of course, of turnover in the office. So of course, if they're half a year without an analyst or a technician, they're gonna be able to return some money, but we don't want turnover in any department, so that's where they're going to stick. But one thing that also really bothered me was the rhetoric that, they haven't received anything in so long. When I was a personnel commissioner for the entire 6 years, there was absolutely no increase in the PC budget. Within this last 4 years of my term, we did give them an increase that was sorely needed, but of course, we can't give an increase every single year, especially when every other department in campus is having to work more leaner. So I feel for our PC staff, I have so much respect for the team there, our director, the technician, the analysts are incredible, amazing leaders. But I hear that rhetoric is something that I just have to confront, that it's just not true. But I get where it's coming from, don't get me wrong, I do. So looking forward to collaboration. I have no issue with, us collaborating with the commissioners as a body, with the staff. I know we will. Looking forward to see how we continue that relationship with them. But thank you for bringing up the PC, because I kind of forgot about that as well. So starting off, I guess formally, is congrats again to the class of 2026. It was lovely to attend. Mostly the promotions and the graduations wasn't able to make it for the kindreds. Beautiful ceremonies. A big shout out again to Dr. Harrison. Again, not only for beautiful speech in her part on Spanish, but also for her commitment that she made earlier since last year actually, for the stage and making sure that everything was a beautiful ceremony and accessible to our families to actually view and listen, what if they're actually there in the stadium with the new monitors, or if they were home fixing the streaming difficulties that we had last year. And to all the team who were able to make that team possible, to our entire administrative leadership team, to our superintendent designate for joining us. It was very lovely to be there at those ceremonies. Congratulations again to our student for Bassett Adult School, Sue Kwan, at 91 years old. Looked great, honestly. He really did. And it made a Tribune, so if you were able to catch it, it was published on the Sangre Valley Tribune. But the class of 2026, you are special to me. You were freshmen when I started my term as a board member, so to see you all go, it is bittersweet, and I wish you all the very best of my luck. Do want to say thank you to some of our team members who will be leaving us this month. Our high school principal and our special education director. I will share obviously my farewell words to them before they leave. But looking forward to a great school year. This juxtaposed to Ms. Gonzalez is the final full school year of this current 4-year term. So looking forward to starting a new school year next year and seeing a wonderful start of that with obviously all these projects coming back refreshed, I hope, with our team with the leadership symposium. So very, very, very much optimistic. And that I do want to, as my colleagues have share my appreciation to Dr. Harrison again for leading our district in this interim. You've done so incredibly so with the support, of course, of all of our team. Ms. Lena Lasco and Ms. Ivada, you both have been, all three of you have really held it down in your own right. Leaders who obviously don't need no man, respectfully. But if this recruitment, we don't want this recruitment to prolong. 7 months was long enough. We got a lot of pushback from some members of the community of like, why is it taking so long? I thought it was a deliberate speed. But you three are incredible leaders in your divisions, whether it's ed services, human resources services, or business services. Thank you, three of you, but especially as interim soup, I do want to say thank you for everything, because we would not be able to have survive the waters without your leadership. I would actually think though, it's been not that bad of a year comparison to past years. It could be really gnarly, actually. My first year as a board member was disgusting. But I do, on behalf of the board, do want to share this small little plaque and thanking you for your services. Surprise. Again, obviously, you'll be with us as,
Thank you, everybody.
as assistant
Yeah.
superintendent, so she's not going anywhere.
That's
You'll be
so
joining us on
sweet.
the other side, but
Thank you.
I do think that is a nice token of appreciation
Yeah,
for
it
us,
is
so
very
if you'd like
much
to
so.
keep it, it's yours, but thank you everything from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you.
And of course to our amazing Alexandra, who has no working title for this evening. That's it for me. I'm looking forward to July. Do your FPPC paperwork that's due.
Yes.
Oh, let's do.
That's due soon, July something, don't get a fine. And yeah, we will go into closed session. So item 1 is conference with labor negotiators pursuant to Government Code Section 54957.6. And item 2 is conference with legal counsel, potential litigation pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9. We'll go into closed session at 6:51 PM. Thank you.
Okay, sound is on.
Good evening. We reconvene out of closed session at 7:44 PM. Report out of closed session, there was none. We will go into discussion, action, and information items. Item number 1 is board policy 5131.8 mobile communication devices, second reading. The superintendent recommends that the Board of Education approve the second reading of new board policy on mobile phones on school campus. Is there a motion to
So
approve?
move.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Rivera, seconded by Ms. Flores. Any discussion?
Thank you to the administration for putting this together. I really appreciate the work.
You're welcome.
Roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Aye, the motion is carried. Item 2, approval of resolutions, resolution 049-26 for temporary interfund cash borrowing, and resolution 050-26 for temporary transfers from the school pools fund maintained by the Los Angeles County Treasurer. Item 2, resolution 051-26 committed fund balance, and resolution 052-26 authorizing designating signatures and certification of signatures. Is there any objection to hearing all 3 items in one motion? Is it-
I don't have an objection to all 3 in one motion, but I do have one quick question.
We'll get to that once there's a motion, and then you could ask. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Motion by Ms. Rivera. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Gonzalez. Discussion, Ms. Flores?
The number 3052-26, are we gonna have to redo this again in the new school year?
This is to add our new superintendent of schools.
Oh, okay. No, I figured
Oh, but
that, I
yes,
figured that,
it would be annual as well, yes.
but it'll be done again in September, August?
I think in December.
December.
It's usually during the reorganization that we do. it.
Because
So,
elections are in November.
Got it.
any further questions? Roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Aye, the motion's carried. Item 3, LACO correspondence. There's no action here. This is the correspondence from the Los Angeles County Office of Education regarding our collective bargaining units, correct? Or collective
Correct.
bargaining agreements. Right, and we will receive those. Item 4, 2026 to 2024 Local Control Accountability, LCAP and BOP. The superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the 2026-2027 hilarious Local Control and Accountability, LCAP as submitted. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Flores, seconded by Ms. Rivera. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Aye, the motion is carried. Item 5, 2026-2027 Bassett Unified School District Budget Adoption. The superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve and adopt the 2026-2027 budget for the Bassett Unified School District. I'll make a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Flores. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Aye, the motion is carried. Consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered by the board to be items that will be enacted by the board in one motion. There will be no discussion of these items prior to the time the board votes on the motion unless members of the board, staff, or public request specific items to be discussed and or removed from the consent calendar. Are there any items a member would wish to be removed? Ms. Gonzalez?
I would like to pull software agreement curriculum associates LLC.
What's the educational services
Oh,
number?
sorry, yes, one. Number 3, educational services.
Under
Number one.
education.
Yes.
Educational services.
Any further items? Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar as scheduled? Motion by Ms. Gonzalez. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Rivera. Roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, sorry.
Aye. Motion carries.
Oh.
We'll move on to educational services. Item 1, software agreement, Curriculum Associates LLC, ELL data monitoring. The superintendent recommends the Board of Education approve the agreement between the Bassett Unified School District and Curriculum Associates LLC for the 2026-2027 school year. I'd like to first open this to discussion prior to motions. Ms. Gonzalez.
The reason why I wanted to discuss this was because we did have all of those comments during, I think, 2-3 meetings ago, regarding any data being sold regarding iReady usage by our students. There were online claims that Curriculum Associates was selling not the students' data, but their usage data. So not any identifying factors in the data that they were selling, but just the usage. According to when Dr. Harrison reached out to them, they vehemently denied that that was anything that they were involved in. And I do appreciate that they did put out a statement on their website, but I do feel that maybe we need to have them kind of come and speak to our community, our parents, our educators, and just kind of maybe give us a little bit more into why people are thinking that Curriculum Associates is selling student data in whatever way, shape, or form that they are in belief that is. And it's not just them, it's a few online services that are in this lawsuit. It's a civil lawsuit that was brought by parents, I believe, with those concerns. On their website, they do say that the claims against them are meritless, that they do not sell any data. I do appreciate them putting a frequently asked questions section on that. But I do feel that our parents and our educators kind of deserve just a little bit more coming straight from them at this time regarding this, because it's such a concern with where our students' data is ending up. And if they can come and reassure us that this is not happening, that this will not happen, that when we are entering into these agreements, that our students' usage data and personal data are not kept anywhere except for their program development. I understand that some things need to be kept to update programs, to make them better, to, use them. And I personally am using iReady in my classroom. But I do feel that we are owed just a little bit more reassurance from Curriculum Associates, especially because we use this as a district-wide assessment. And we do use this program, to help us write IEPs and things like that. So if we could get just a little bit more assurance from them, I would feel a little bit more comfortable approving the contract right now, as opposed to waiting for them to come. And then if they accept that or not. That's just
Don't
something.
the other districts use it? I read.
Yes, other districts
Did it
do.
happen to them too, or?
So it wasn't a breach of any kind. It wasn't anything like that. It was that I think it was like a civil lawsuit, and it claimed that iReady and a number of educational technology providers were selling the information of the usage of their programs to third parties, advertisers, things like that, which they deny in their website, and
Yeah, I
it's
saw that.
great.
Uh-huh.
So yes, other districts are using them, but I feel that in order for us to kind of be going above and beyond our due diligence with this, because it's such a widespread, and it was online everywhere, and parents were asking questions about it. Educators were, wondering, why are we still going to be using this program if they're selling our students' data to third parties and for advertising and things like that. So although they do deny this, I feel like it would be a benefit for us as a district to really get it straight from the horse's mouth, that this is not happening, so that, if other districts don't care, that's fine.
So you want them to come in?
Yeah, I would like for them to come and reassure our parents that their students' data is not being sold for advertising or, third parties or whatever it is that was being spread online.
So are you recommending we not
I would recommend that we table this until.
table this
yeah.
until they can? Fair enough.
Although I would like some input regarding how this would affect the beginning of the school year if
Yeah,
they don't come.
that's what I was.
Right, because I do know that within the first month of school, we do our first iReady
It is.
assessment.
Mhm.
So,
So to speak to timeline, iReady is very responsive with us. So I believe if we were to invite them to a meeting on the 21st or perhaps on August 11th, that would still give us time to have the contract if the board is satisfied with the the information coming from them, that would give the board adequate time to approve the contract. Once the contract is approved, then the system would roll over for the new year. So it should not be a lapse in service. So that would give us at least 2 meetings, give them the grace of 2 meetings, but knowing their response time, I would expect them to come to the meeting on the 21st. I would hope they would.
When do we start school?
On the 19th of August, the 18th is our in-service day Monday, we start in the next
And
day.
that'll be enough
Tuesday.
time.
Yeah, if the contract is approved, then they will automatically they give you grace for the whole PO process because they know that we've approved it already. So they would be able to get the program rolling. Once the board approves it, they could get the program rolling before the school year were to
It
start.
won't delay the students or any.
It shouldn't delay the
testing or
students,
anything.
no, it should not. We already have all the systems in place. It's just a matter of kind of rolling it over for the new year. So it's a pretty easy integration process. And we have a teacher that comes about 5 days early, so he'll show up on the scene the week before school starts. So probably the 13th, 14th and
Yeah, because I know
map
rosters have to
everything,
be
roster everything.
rolled out, yeah, and so.
Right, and we can't roll the rosters until all the master schedules are set anyway, and that's about the time where everything's getting solidified and then you you turn everything on.
Okay,
So the timing should be fine.
Let me be the devil's advocate here.
Okay.
What if we're not satisfied with what they say and we vote no? What programs are there available for the testing or for the staff to use, the teachers
Yes.
to use?
Okay, that's an excellent question. We have 2 programs that have similar diagnostic pieces that are in place already. One is our AR Star, and that would be one we could easily roll out. It will already be ready to go. And we also have these capabilities in elevation and Amplify. So there's actually 3 different programs that do something similar. They're just not as familiar and as user-friendly to our teaching staff. So we would have to do a little bit of legwork of rolling that out with the staff. But we do have the ability to use other diagnostics for.
And train the staff?
We need.
Still be time to train them on it? or-
Well, so
or
yeah,
does
a
it
couple, absolutely, we would. A couple they're already very familiar with, like the AR Star is something that they all give. So that would be something that we could start the school year with. And then we would want to pull the team together quickly and see what other type of benchmarks would we want to use if iReady is not something that we wanted to go with anymore. But we do have other resources, really well-developed resources. So iReady is not the only one that we have. So we have Plan B and Plan B and Plan B.
Aside from I think we got one comment at the board meeting a couple meetings ago. Has there been any other conversations from BTA regarding iReady that like would be alert?
Yeah, we,
an alert?
in the LCAP consult, we did have in the LCAP consult with BTA, they did say that although they know that there are some bumps with iReady and they want to work through that. Their concern was changing at the 12th hour and not being ready for the school year, that it might be prudent for us to work through it this school year if we were going to move away from them. That was their takeaway, was maybe potentially just working through that and putting something else in place that's solid if we do decide to move away from it.
So they prefer working with the iReady program?
The BTA consult was in favor of keeping it, at least looking at it more strategically for this school year to keep us rolling. But we do have the ability to pivot. We have a talented team, and if we needed to pivot, we could do that as well. So.
Because they're very popular, a lot of the schools.
Yeah, I love using it.
France,
Yeah, personally.
Uses the iReady.
Yeah. Yeah, but we also don't want to do just because everybody else is, so.
I do believe we could get them here at the request of the board, absolutely.
Any further discussions? Are there any motions?
I move to table it.
Motion to table.
Second.
Motion tabled by Ms. Rivera, seconded by Ms. Flores. Any discussion on the motion to table? Roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion's carried. Adjournment. The next regular board meeting will be held on July 21st, 2026. Adjourn the regular board meeting of June 23rd, 2026. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Flores, seconded by Ms. Rivera. Roll call vote.
Don't y'all just love being here?
Oh.
It's only like 8 o'clock. Aye.
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 Before 8 o'clock, we are adjourned. Good night.
What did you say before what?
Before 8 o'clock.
Before, he got